We often think that broken means finished. We see a shattered vase and think it's trash. But what if broken is a new start? Sometimes the cracks let the light in. God can take our broken pieces and make something beautiful. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being whole and real. True strength comes from facing our breaks and letting them heal in a new way. God doesn't throw away broken things. He's a master artist, seeing potential where we see ruin. Our scars become symbols of survival, showing how far we've come. Your broken pieces aren't a sign of weakness. They're the raw materials for a masterpiece. God is ready to build. We just need to trust Him with the pieces. I remember a time when my world broke. It didn't just crack, it shattered into a million tiny pieces. The betrayal came like a sudden storm from someone I held dear. The shock was like a physical blow. The pain was a deep, dark ocean, and I felt like I was drowning. It wasn't a physical death, but a part of me died that day. The dreams I had, the future I imagined, they were all gone. I felt so lost, so utterly alone. I tried to pick up the pieces, but they were too sharp. Each memory was a new stab of pain. I felt like a ghost in my own life, moving, talking, even smiling sometimes, but inside, I was hollow. The vibrant colors of my world had turned to gray. That was the depth of my despair. Betrayal does something unique to the spirit. It's not just hurt, it's a deep violation. The person I trusted used my vulnerabilities against me. The shockwaves of this betrayal went far beyond that single relationship. I replayed conversations in my head, looking for clues I might have missed. The self-blame started to creep in, whispering that maybe I deserved it. The darkness felt complete. Sleep offered little escape as nightmares often replayed the events. The world outside seemed to mock my pain. How could I trust again? The very idea felt impossible. This fear of more hurt built walls around my already broken heart. Healing did not start with a big moment. It started with tiny whispers. A small voice inside said, "This cannot be all there is." The first step was just acknowledging the depth of my brokenness. I stopped pretending I was fine. I let myself feel the hurt. I cried a lot. I talked to a close friend who just listened without judging. Slowly, very slowly, I started to look for light. I remembered my faith. I started to pray again. My prayers were not fancy. Sometimes they were just one word. Help. I began to read words of hope, scriptures that spoke of restoration, stories of others who had overcome great pain. I started to take small steps, a short walk outside, listening to uplifting music, trying to eat a healthy meal. One of the hardest steps was forgiveness, not for the other person's sake, but for mine. As I continued to seek God, something amazing began to happen. Like a master builder, God started to pick up my shattered pieces. He did not just stick them back together, He started to reshape them. He began to build something new, something stronger. His love was the mortar, His wisdom was the design. My faith, though small, was the foundation He worked with. I started to see His hand in unexpected places. A kind word from a stranger, a passage of scripture, a sudden feeling of peace. These were not coincidences. They were God's gentle reminders. He was turning my mess into a message, my test into a testimony. God did not erase the scars. Instead, He made them part of the new design. Slowly, surely, a new dawn began to break in my life. The heavy darkness started to lift. It was replaced by a gentle light of hope and peace. I started to feel joy again. Not a superficial happiness, but a deep, abiding joy. It came from knowing I was not alone. It came from seeing God's faithfulness. He had taken my brokenness and created something new. The fear of being hurt again did not disappear completely, but it no longer controlled me. I learned to trust again, wisely this time. I learned to set healthy boundaries. I learned to value myself. My worth was not based on what others thought of me. It was based on who God said I was. This truth became my anchor. My experiences, even the painful ones, became sources of strength. I could look back and see how God had carried me through. He wasted nothing. He turned it all for good. So here I stand, not as someone who was never broken, but as someone who was broken and then beautifully rebuilt. My identity is not in the shattering. It is in the divine restoration. I am a testament to God's incredible grace, His unending love, His power to make all things new. If you are feeling broken today, please hear this. Your brokenness is not the end of your story. It can be the beginning of a new chapter filled with resilience and faith. God is not afraid of your mess. He sees your potential. Let God take your broken pieces. Let Him build you into the masterpiece He created you to be. Your rebirth awaits. Trust Him. He will not fail you.